amazing run. Nice. Oh, my brain!
Goodness me.
Oh, are you serious?
Real Wake Driven by Mastercraft is a World of X Games competition based on the art of creating wakeboarding video segments. Wakeboarding is traditionally done behind boats, but has progressed to include winching over natural terrain, hitting the ramps and rails at cable parks, and building personal courses to ride through. For Real Wake 2017, 6 riders could use any method of riding to express their riding style and interpretation of the sport. For this event, the riders and their producers are tasked with creating the best 90-second video segment possible. These segments will be judged by a panel of legendary riders, Parks Bonifay, Brian Grubb, and Tom Fouché. The judges will analyze each video, taking into account the quality of every aspect of the segment. The riders have had 8 weeks to film and edit their videos. We'll go behind the scenes of each video shoot to show you what went into producing the segments before the winners are revealed. The riders in this contest are Steele Lafferty, Felix GEORGII, Guenther Oka, Alex Graydon, Aaron Rathy, and 2016 Real Wake Gold medalist, Brenton Priestley. These are their videos, and this is World of X Games Real Wake. We kick off the athlete segments for Real Wake 2017 with Alex Graydon.
Alex Graydon is one of the most unique and creative riders there is in the sport. I cannot wait to see what he comes up with in his part.
It's like really creative, like does a lot of really technical grabs behind the boat. Does a ton of really cool park riding and stuff too.
It seems like every time I see him in a contest, he always takes a different line than all the other guys. He's always doing some, even if it's small or big, like he's always got something different like in his line and the tricks that he's doing.
I'm Alex Graydon. I'm from Lake Martin, Alabama, but I split my time between the Sunshine Coast and Australia, and I'm a professional wakeboarder. I grew up riding on this lake behind the boat, and then eventually started riding rails and doing a bit of winching and all that kind of stuff. So when I had the opportunity to shoot this video, I definitely wanted to showcase like all of my aspects of riding.
If you could just like try to point the camera like toward my general direction, then maybe like it'll capture whatever the hell I'm doing out there, and then we can put it on YouTube.
Hey, my name is ARCISZ from Dallas, Texas, and I'm a filmmaker. It's gonna be crazy to get used to. It's really a cool opportunity to shoot with someone like Alex that definitely does things that are outside of the norm.
That's sick.
High five, high five.
Yeah, when I found out I was getting an X Games part, I called Joey up like straight away. He and I had actually worked together a few years back. We did a little Texas trip together, so I already knew that we got along and everything, and so it was kind of a no-brainer.
So the focus of the shoot for me was all about bringing the right tools for the job, making sure that we can capture everything the best way we can.
Yeah, no.
No?
Nah. Don't dig it.
Trick or shot?
We wanted to keep everything in Alabama, or at least close to Alabama, so we did a few road trips. We went down to Orange Beach when it started just storming like crazy. Found like this tanker that had like washed up on shore, but we could only hit it at high tide. And it was probably one of the weirdest spots I've ever hit. Like trying to get on top of that meant I had to time it with a wave in order to like get onto the ramp and to have any water under my landing. So like sometimes you'd edge into it and I'd have 0 water at my landing or 0 water at the kicker, and you just land in dry sand. Some of the spots worked out really well. Got them within the first few tries, and I was really stoked about that. But then other spots that we found that we were actually really excited about didn't work out at all. I freaked out. A couple things, a couple posts, a couple trees. I got it. One spot we found that was like, it was a tree that had fallen over a dock, and you pretty much had to like work your way around a pole in order to get up the rest of the tree. I thought it was going to be easier than it was, but I almost took my face off the first hit. And then the second one, I actually stuck my nose into the pole because the rope got caught on one of the limbs. Ended up flipping and hitting my head pretty hard, so that kind of sucked, but yeah, it's just kind of the way it goes.
My name is Alex Graydon, and this is my real wake bark.
Now, Alex Graydon's 2017 Real Wake segment.
Oh, God.
Alex Graydon, Real Wake 2017.
Alex's part starts with a gnarly crash. I mean, it almost looked fatal, almost, you know, so that obviously gets your attention right off the bat.
He pretty much had me at that, and then it ended with that back roll bridge bonk, which is something that I've never seen or even really thought of before.
Alex Graydon's closer was absolutely insane. He did a back roll to wall ride on a bridge while riding behind the boat. That was one of the biggest highlights in all of Real Wake.
Let me start off by saying I love watching you ride. It's so creative. You always do different stuff. But that crash at the beginning of your section, thank God you're even still here with us, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
What happened there?
Ollied onto the dock, got a little bit too much speed, shoveled my nose, and kind of blacked out when I hit. Yeah,
almost blacked out forever.
Yeah,
but luckily, I've watched it in slow-mo, and it looks like your head went right in the perfect gap.
It really did. It couldn't have gone any better.
I've heard, like Travis Pastrana says, for how bad it went really well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Next up for Real Wake 2017, Felix GEORGII.
Felix is known for his creativity. I cannot wait to check out what kind of unique spots he has and what he does with them.
Yeah, I think, you know, Felix is being from Germany and stuff. He obviously got his start, you know, riding cable and winching, and he's a really creative rider. He does like a lot of like 1-foot tricks, and yeah, he's just like always kind of doing stuff that you wouldn't probably guess.
I love his style. You can tell he has like so much snowboard influence, and he's just such a consistent rail rider, and he's always got something up his sleeve, so I'm really interested to see Felix's stuff.
I'm Felix GEORGII. I'm born and raised in beautiful Allgäu, and I'm a professional wakeboarder.
I'm Stefan Vollert, born pretty much in the middle of Germany, and I'm a professional wakeboarder and a photographer and cinematographer.
With our edit, we wanted to showcase how gnarly it is actually to go winching and how much effort it is. Our whole filming project started quite late. The first day worked out really well, and then because we were so motivated, we went to a second spot that day, and it just broke off. So we decided to only hit one spot a day and take it a little bit more easy. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's so fun to do and worth every second if you get a shot.
We didn't really have an idea how the edit should look in the end.
But after the first day and after Felix's first crash, we were sure that that part had to be the intro.
I didn't have too many spots marked on Google Maps, but it turned out that in any city you can find winch spots. It's a public holiday in Germany, and it seems like we're gonna have some viewers on the last spot, so let's see how they like it.
We pretty much stayed in Germany. We actually found so many spots here. We still drove 7,000 kilometers, which was pretty insane. And it was a fun journey for sure.
Like everybody was just focused on their thing. Like Lucas did the winch stuff and like the setting up. I did the wakeboarding, you did the filming. It was awesome. It was the best fun.
With Felix as a rider, it was clear for me that the riding aspect is going to be pretty epic and next level. My motivation was to bring my part, my creative part, the filming and editing, kind of to his level to match him.
I chose Stefan because he's a really good friend of mine. I really know how he works, he knows how I work. Yeah, it's just good working together. I'm stoked we got a good clip.
Now, Felix GEORGII's 2017 Real Wake segment. Felix GEORGII, Real Wake 2017.
I like Felix's part a lot just because of all the different range of winch spots he hit. It seems like every hit that he did was like slightly different than the other one, and his spots were like so different than the next.
One of Felix's tricks that really stuck out to me was his ride through the corrugated pipe to Indy Tantrum at night on the cable.
Stefan was your filmer, but like winching takes a large crew. Kind of give us the rundown and the roles.
Well, I had my friend Lucas Joas from home. He helped us like all the time at every spot. Then we had like Lucas Sees from the Bricks and the whole Bricks crew who helped us at a couple spots and at that one cable shot.
So you're from Germany. Tell us about Germany and like how did that help you?
The main barrier I have in like another country is just like the language. Like we could go up to people and just talk to them in our language, which helped a lot because like we didn't get kicked out of one spot.
That's insane.
And we don't have gators in Germany, we don't have snakes, we don't have whatever you guys have here in Florida, but I mean the water is a little bit colder than here, but man,
You'll take cold over gators.
I take it.
Next up for Real Wake 2017, Guenther Oka.
Guenther Oka is the hungriest rider in the sport right now, so I cannot wait to check out what kind of new technicality and what kind of crazy tricks he comes up with in his part.
Yeah, Guenther's the youngest rider in real wake this year, and this is his first real opportunity to put out a video part, so I'm really interested to see how he does in real wake.
Man, young Guenther is one of my favorite new riders for sure. He's one of the best well-rounded young riders out there. He rips off the wake. He grew up at a cable park up in Cincinnati, so his wakeboard skills are like as well-rounded as anyone. He's capable of really anything, and he's young and still made of rubber, so watch out.
My name's Guenther Oka. I'm 19 years old from Cincinnati, Ohio. Currently living in Orlando, Florida, and I'm a professional wakeboarder. These X Games videos are just a perfect way to show a good mixture of what your riding's all about and where the current state of wakeboarding is right now. A lot of people aren't familiar with our sport, so X Games is a really good opportunity to shine some light on a whole lot of different aspects, whether it's behind the boat, underneath the cable, or getting pulled by a winch. My filmer, he lives right down the street from me, so we figured let's just try to make the most of it, not spend, too much time traveling around and just knock it out.
Did you nail that one, or you want me to go do it again?
Yeah, no, I think I got that one really well.
Okay, cool.
My name is Zachary Schaefer. I live in Orlando, Florida. I was the filmer for Guenther Oka's real wake part this year.
Nice.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you now.
So it's more of like that.
Yeah,
Come down
okay.
to these angles to like see it.
Okay.
It was a conscious effort to make the video part be a tighter, faster edit with not a lot of filler. We wanted it to kind of mimic how we felt when we were shooting it.
Yeah, dude. That last one was perfect.
One of the hardest parts about filming a part is that you want it to be your best riding that anyone's ever seen from you. And along with trying to get your best riding is definitely going to come some pretty bad crashes as well.
Oh, I clipped the top of it, and then I just put my.
Ooh, did you whack it on the concrete?
Probably.
That's what happened.
As we were coming down to the final days of shooting, we were looking at our shot count, and we definitely needed some more, and we needed more help as well. A lot of the guys who were helping me out had contests that weekend or were going out of town, but there's one person who I knew I could call and have him down in a jiffy, and I called my dad.
When his dad came in, I think it put him in the right mindset. I could definitely tell, being an outside viewer, that Guenther and his dad have a really strong, great relationship, and it was cool to see that his dad would come down, take off of work, come out, get in the swampy water, help us set up stuff, just be a positive attitude. I think that was crucial to our success.
He pretty much came in and made the final shots happen, so I couldn't have done it without him, and it was just fun having him involved, and yeah, it went well.
Now, Guenther Oka's 2017 Real Wake segment. Guenther Oka, Real Wake 2017.
My favorite part about Guenther's section was his switch mute mob 7. Never been done before, yet alone it was also done on the mega ramp.
That opening shot he did, it was a double grab toe back 5, and I've never seen anyone lock in a double grab on that technical of a spin before. In your mind, like, what was your favorite shot or favorite location or trick that you did, like, in your section?
I'd have to say that the one that I was like kind of most stoked about was probably the ender. It was kind of like the last couple spots that we were at, and it was just kind of the icing on the cake of like, got a pretty good like the front one on, and then kind of front 3 almost like dipping like under the rail and then popping back over, and it was just like, oh, we're on to something now, and it was pretty satisfying.
Yeah, that angle is crazy. You could fully see your board dip below the rail, and that was your favorite shot, and that's not even, and that's over top of your Mob 7 that you did.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I forgot. I
kind of slid that one.
720 over like a 50-foot gap, and that's not even your favorite shot. So I think that's a
oh,
testament
hey,
on how
thanks,
well your section turned out, man.
Next up for Real Wake 2017, Brenton Priestley.
Brenton Priestley, pretty much the gnarliest wakeboarder on rails out there right now. The dude's like literally made of Kevlar. He just rolls through all these different rails that he's hits, and then like unless a rail has some serious consequence to it and a lot of risk, he's not going to really mess with it.
So he's coming off a win, you know, getting an invite back into Real Wake, so he knows how the format works. He knows kind of what he needs to do to win.
Raw describes his riding. He's from Australia and brings a crazy, insane, all-terrain vibe to his riding.
My name is Brenton Priestley. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and I now currently call Orlando, Florida home, and I'm a professional wakeboarder. Basically, the focus was to just try and winch as much as possible and not get injured, and try and stack clips and really just try and put together something that Trevor and I were both super stoked on.
My name's Trevor BASHIR. I was born in Plantation, Florida, and I'm a videographer. This year we want to just keep it as urban as possible and just shoot as many winch clips as we can get, and then only do double ups because just double ups are gnarly. It takes a lot to get into one, and when you get a trick that's off the double up, it just looks really good because you're going so much higher.
A lot of people have stopped hitting double ups. I mean, people like Rathy and Dino and a bunch of those boys just still send them all the time, and it had been a little bit for me. We hit them every now and then, but this year it was just going back to hitting double ups again, and I wanted to do that and also winch for this part. So we try to keep it as urban as possible, and we built pools and kept it as much of a street feel as we could, and the goal was to just keep it urban.
We're in Auburndale, Florida, and we chose this location because it's where Brenton's been living for the past couple of years, and there's plenty of people out here to help out, and there's winch spots all over, so we decided to keep it local.
We just stayed at home again. Fortunately enough, had a bunch of rain around here recently, but it kind of worked out for the best. We had a lot of spots to fill up that were empty and stuff that I've been looking at for a long time, and we're finally able to build some pools and make it happen, and it all really worked out for the best here in Florida.
This year I had some big shoes to fill since Spencer wasn't able to do it. I just wanted to show what Brenton does, and it's gnarly, and people should definitely take a look at it because it's comparable to anything, snowboarding, skateboarding. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, so Trevor and I have been buddies for a long time now, and everything went as smoothly as it could go, and Trevor killed it with the angles and the footage, and we definitely had some help here and there, and shout out to those boys, you know who you are, and basically we just wanted to showcase wakeboarding in the best light that we think it is, and I think we did as best as we could in the short time we have, and we're stoked on the result.
Brenton Priestley's 2017 Real Wake segment. Brenton Priestley, Real Wake 2017.
Super impressed by Brenton's frontside 50-50 down the fence line on the chain link fence. The fact that there's hooks on there connecting the chain to the fence makes no room for error.
Probably one of my favorite hits out of everyone's section was the backside 450 back lip he did. Just had a real snowboard feel to it, and he just did it perfect.
You won this whole thing last year. You knew what it takes. You switched filmers. Tell us a little bit about the process and your mind frame, considering you won it last year.
I mean, it was definitely like, I knew what we were in for, so I was stressing out a little bit. I mean, whole new filmer, whole different vibe to the part, and it definitely was different and made it a little more challenging, but we got it done and we're stoked.
Were there any bad falls that you had? Like, you hit some really, really huge spots. You had to take some lickings.
Yeah, I took a couple of diggers. It was, I tacoed that big down fence, which is in the part. I also butt checked at the bottom of it and ended up kind of smashing my hand and wrist on a double up, pretend to do double tantrums, and
looks a little swollen.
Still swollen, it's still jacked, but that's all part of it, you know. You got no time to sit down and just ice nothing. It's get in an ice bath that night and go at it again the next day.
Next up for Real Wake 2017, Steele Lafferty.
Man, I cannot wait to check out Steele's part, as I know he is notorious for going huge off the double up, got tons of pop, and all sorts of technicality, especially in his spins.
He's known for going really big. He's a really good rider behind the boat. Yeah, he's got a ton of tricks, so I'm really interested to see what he puts together this year.
You'll see Steele hit 20 double ups in a set and just go as hard as you can at it. And he just started doing double flips, and he can spin really well. So I think double ups is going to be a big part of his section, which is what I'm looking forward to.
Steele Lafferty, I live in Orlando, Florida, 25 years old, and I'm a professional wakeboarder. For this project, I went back to the lake that I first started wakeboarding on. From the beginning to where I am now.
Real Wake, X Games.
It's the same lake, and you get those same vibes, and I fell in love with wakeboarding there, and now I'm able to create an X Games Real Wake part on the same lake 15 years later. And then we also shot just in my backyard on Lake Conway, man, because this is where I feel most comfortable riding.
Glad we came back out here. We kind of missed the takeoff earlier, so we had to come and tell Steele to nail it again.
My name is Wes Williams, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Currently reside at Steele Lafferty's house on his couch in Orlando, Florida, and I'm a professional filmmaker.
They call me the sniper rifle up here. Boom!
I knew I wanted Wes to work on this project, and it was really cool just knowing when I go out there and ride, like, we're gonna get the coolest shot.
Let's go!
When he called me, I was like, the dream come true. But I was like, hey dude, if we do this, I want to do it different. I want to bring all our cool camera stuff and figure out how to put it on the water and how to make the coolest shots possible.
Got a slick dolly set up here. Gonna try to change up our angle, get a cool different shot from the dock here. And yeah, try to just make something a little sick with a little dynamic move. While he busts his trick, I'm gonna bust my trick, you know what I mean?
I had fun filming this part. I just want to go big, you know, and I want to, instead of like going wake to wake on everything or like taking things to be more technical, like I want to go big, I want to hold my grabs longer, you know, I want to float it out and put a little bit more risk into a trick rather than just like making sure I add a 180 onto something.
Woo!
I'm just trying to show them that wakeboarding is legit. You take hard falls, you put your life on the line. Like, I completely broke myself off a bunch of times, but we came out with an awesome part. There's a bunch of different styles of wakeboarding right now, of like cable riders, winch riders, tech riders, contest riders, free riders. Wakeboarding has so many avenues of what you can be and who you can be. Like, I'm just showing my side of it.
Steele's got the pressure on. Oh boy. Got the cable cam set up. Ooh, that's heavy.
Woo! We set up this awesome cable cam line, and we put the Moby in red on it.
Like, try to make it underneath this, pop out.
And I thought Dylan grabbed the cable cam sled, and he didn't. So when we loosened the ratchet strap to tighten it, it just sprung the cable cam off the line, and it flew 10 foot in the air and then right into the water, and I literally I almost cried.
This is the hardest I've ever worked for a video part. You put 2 months of 5 a.m. wake-ups and you're like beating yourself up and you're like, I need to take a break. I know it's good for me, but I don't have the luxury, I don't have the time. Like, you only have 2 months to put together this insane bangers part. It's scary, but it's fun, yet stressful and exciting all in the same. It's like a relationship, man. You never know what you're gonna get every day. All glory to God. Thanks for everything. Enjoy.
Now, Steele Lafferty's 2017 Real Wake segment. Steele Lafferty, Real Wake 2017.
Steele Lafferty's part had insane double-ups. He had both toe side and heel side back nines, which I don't think we've ever seen before in a video part.
Did a couple good double flips, but one of my favorite was his toe side overturn method thing that he did. It's like a good way of doing a method that I haven't really seen before. Being on some of these shoots, it just doesn't happen with just the rider and the filmer. It takes a lot of moving parts. You need chase boat drivers, you need winch drivers, there's so many variables. Like, who was your crew and like what was the roles that they played?
A crew is essential, man. It takes about 5 to 6 dudes to get 1 trick a day, if you're lucky. And then they're all on the bro code kind of thing, you know? They're like, we can't really pay you much, but dude, they're down for the cause, you know? Because they want wakeboarding to look good too, and they're your boys, so thank you guys.
Next up for Real Wake 2017, Aaron Rathy.
Aaron Rathy, known for pulling off any feat on any type of pull and wakeboarding. Doesn't matter whether it's cable, winch, or boat, you will see nothing but great things from Rathy.
Rathy's definitely got the most experience in Real Wake as a rider and a filmer, and he's just a really talented rider, so really excited to see what he puts down this year.
Aaron Rathy, in my mind, is the best all-around wakeboarder. He's going to have the most versatile riding and probably the best of each genre in this section. It's going to be definitely really fun to watch.
I'm Aaron Rathy. I'm from Nanaimo, British Columbia, Canada. I currently live in Orlando, Florida, and I'm a wakeboarder. I guess I'm always just trying to show the world how I see wakeboarding and the way I think it's fun, and which is big double ups and winching and finding new spots that you can hit and just trying unique tricks, maybe doing stuff that other people have done and doing them differently and maybe like a way that people hadn't thought of it before.
Hi, my name's Taylor Hanley. I'm from Victoria, BC, and I'm a cinematographer. For this project, we were trying to shoot Rathy in a new light and try to show some different techniques and highlight his riding in kind of a new way than he has been in the past. We're currently in Sprout Lake, British Columbia. This is the lake I grew up on. Thought it'd be a pretty cool idea to bring Rathy here. He's ride this lake too, he's from the island. So we traveled across the country getting all the winch stuff and finished it in British Columbia with all the boat riding.
The whole way here, we took my van and we winched across the US and Canada, taking the first month just to get here and then using the second month to ride some boat and have a bit of fun here. It almost backfired because we got horrible weather for the first little while, but she's turned around now and we're getting a lot of beauty shots and things are coming together. anyone knows if they've winched, like, it is impossible to get a shot. Like, you pretty much get kicked out of every location you set up. So we're in Dallas, and we're setting up this amazing spot, which will not make the cut. This isn't going to be in the video because we got kicked out.
I set up about 3 cameras, the gimbals, everything, get it all ready to go. Meanwhile, Aaron's prepping the spot, and we're about to ride, and next thing you know, officials show up.
2 city workers, and they seemed like pretty chill at the start. The guy rocked up, and he was pretty mellow. And then his buddy came up just heated, like, and I was like trying to cool it down, like being a cool wakeboard guy.
I look over, and Aaron's basically handing him his pocketbook to see if he can pay him off to let us ride there, but it was no goes.
I don't know, long story short, like I pretty much just like tried to bribe these city dudes and pissed them off really bad.
You know, honored. I grew up watching him ride and seen all his video parts in the past, so to take it upon myself to try to create something new and maybe something different that people haven't seen before, I think we're gonna have a pretty cool project when we're done.
Where wakeboarding's going is a way that I'm trying to push it as well. So I'm still trying to like keep the roots of wakeboarding by hitting big double ups, but trying to get urban and get in the streets and do new stuff.
Aaron Rathy's 2017 Real Wake segment.
Man, Rathy's session turned out really sick. That one-footed front 5 that he did off the double up. I've never seen like really anything like that before.
That mute front 3 down into that drop was so heavy. The fact that it's a massive gap, yet alone into inches deep of water, so gnarly.
Man, you had some insane tricks, some insane spots you hit. That one-footed front 5 off the double up, that was ridiculous, man.
And that was a couple-day battle and pretty original tricks, so I'm stoked on it. Stoked to end my part that way.
Did you ever have any falls like where you're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and just like, and it's just ripping on your ankles and knees? Like,
every fall was 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
I guess
but yeah, it was gnarly, man. Sometimes like the issue with like one-wake tricks pretty much in my mind is your board submarining and then getting caught behind you and just ripping your hip out. So, I mean, luckily that didn't happen, but came some close calls.
Walk me through that Osmosis 7, dude. Like, that is so ridiculous.
Even though I have been doing that trick for a while, like, just to make it a 7, it's like the stars have to align almost. So, it was tough. I mean, especially in the weather we did it in, and always riding a full suit's gnarly, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different story than here in Florida, but yeah, I'm proud of that trick too. I'm glad when it went down. I think everyone was glad when it went down.
I love watching
that. It was a battle.
Love it.
Thank you.
The segments have all been viewed, and now the judges must choose who wins X Games gold. Parks Bonifay and the crew grab the medals and go on the road in Orlando to ambush the 3 winners of X Games Real Wake, driven by Mastercraft.
Brenton Priestley bronze medal, Real Wake 2017. All yours.
Perfect. Thanks, fella.
Dude.
I'm stoked. Yeah, man, Trevor and I worked really hard, and it was a tough couple of months, but stoked we got it done. And obviously spots were gnarly, and there were some injuries along the way, but we made it work, and we got it done. Pretty stoked to come away with third.
Aaron Rathy, silver medal.
Sick. What's up,
Yeah, dogs.
Man.
what was cool about ours is it looked a lot different. It was kind of like the adventure style part, and I don't know, it was a gamble, man. Like, we got such bad weather in Canada, but it ended up turning out good, and when the sun came out, you saw the beauty. So took silver this year, so stoked to compete in X Games again, and can't wait for next year. Hell yeah, dude, I'm psyched. Where are we going next? I gotta kick with you guys now?
Yeah, you're going on a road trip. Open up, or we're coming in. Felix GEORGII gold medal! 2017 real weight. Yeah, bud.
Yeah!
Congrats, buddy.
Congrats. Dude, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know. How did you guys feel when they showed up?
Pretty stoked.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm happy with like the result. I'm stoked with everyone else's parts as well. It means a lot to me, like just growing up seeing X Games all the time, and you know, like that's like your goal, and that's who you look up to. Well, I gotta thank Stefan mainly, and then he did a great job, and everybody who helped me on like the whole trip. It wouldn't have been possible without them, and thanks to these guys, killed it.
Yeah, bro.
And thanks to you guys.
Congrats.
Get the gold on. Get your gold on.